Hey guys, and welcome to another QuickPy video. In this video, we're going to go over how to install the Sonoff-Tasmota firmware on your Sonoff Dual R2. So let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is install Atom, which is a hackable text editor, and we'll be using that to install the Sonoff-Tasmota firmware on the Sonoff Dual. So go to atom.io and you'll be greeted with the installation page. Just click download and then run the installer according to your OS. So in my case it's Mac, it'll download and then you can just drag into your applications folder. The next thing you want to do is visit the Sonoff-Tasmota GitHub page. The URL is on the screen. Make sure you match the case. And once the GitHub page finishes loading, you're going to be greeted with a similar page. This is where the Sonoff-Tasmota firmware is actively developed, collaborated on, and if people have issues, they usually put them here. But what we want to do is actually download the firmware that we can open in Atom. So you want to click the green clone or download button and then click download zip. That's going to download the zip file of the installation files we will need. It'll download as a zip, so if you're on Windows you might need to decompress the zip file, but in Mac it automatically does that. And you're going to see in my downloads folder I have the Sonoff-Tasmota development folder. So now you want to open this folder. Once the folder is open, you should see a variety of files. The file you want to open in Atom is called PlatformIO.ini. Just open the file and it should automatically open in Atom. If not, you might need to manually open it in Atom. You're going to be greeted with the welcome screen and then the PlatformIO screen. You can close the welcome screen and close any errors you might have, and then you're going to be greeted with this page. What we're going to do now is install PlatformIO. So go into Atom Preferences, Install, and then type in PLATFORMIO and just click Enter. And you're going to see a variety of packages. You want to select the one that just says PlatformIO.-IDE, not the terminal one, and just click Install. It'll take about a few moments to get the installation files it needs, and it should present us with a message. Okay, so now we see a message. It says Clang is not installed in your system. You can click Remind later, but in my case I don't really need code completion, so I just click Disable that. And it'll take about a few moments to install PlatformIO completely. And once it's done installing, so you're going to see a restart. You're going to see a green message, and then click the Restart button, and that'll restart Atom IO completely. Now that Atom is completely restarted, you're going to see the welcome guide again. You can close that. And you're going to see another PlatformIO homepage open as well. You can close that as well. And you might be greeted with an error, but you can close that. It shouldn't be that significant. And now you're finally ready to actually start flashing this firmware. So we're going to make a variety of changes to the file so your flashing experience is a lot smoother and you don't have as many issues. So first thing we're actually going to do is change the upload speed. Here you're going to scroll down where you see the upload_speed equals 512,000, and then there's a line actually uncommented above it with the comma. You want to remove the comma for the one that says 115,200. And then put the comma in front of the one that says upload speed 512,000, and that should save it. And we're pretty much done with this file for now. So you want to click on the Sonoff folder, go into userconfig.h, not userconfig_override, close any error you might have. This is where we can actually configure the parameters for Sonoff-Tasmota, the default parameters, so you won't have to manually connect it to Wi-Fi and stuff. The first thing you want to change is the CFG holder. So in the default case, it's a 4-digit number. In my case, I'm just going to set it to the date, and as of this filming, it's June 12th, so I'll set the number to 0612. Alright, we're done with that. So the next thing we want to do is enter our Wi-Fi parameters. no, not Wi-Fi parameters. Actually, you want to change the module type. So here where you see Sonoff basic, you want to set that to Sonoff underscore dual underscore R2. Make sure you match the case. It's all capitals. There's no extra spaces, stuff like that. And now we're going to configure our Wi-Fi. So here you're going to see a few lines called STA underscore SSID1. You're going to see 2 quotes. In those quotes, you want to enter your Wi-Fi network name. Make sure it matches the case. So in my case, my Wi-Fi is just called Wi-Fi SSID. And then the password of your Wi-Fi, so then you can just enter your password right there. So Wi-Fi password. Make sure you match case, all that stuff, that's crucial. And then underscore underneath, you're going to see a Wi-Fi config tool. Change that line to Wi-Fi underscore manager, all capitals. For those of you that might have followed any of my previous tutorials, if you have an MQTT host, which is preferably your Raspberry Pi, you can enter that IP address there, but you can configure that later on in the Sonoff-Tasmota settings page. And once we're done here, we're pretty much done configuring it. Now you want to save the file so the blue light disappears. So save both files once you've made sure. And you can see the blue dots next to the page name have disappeared. So in this case, I'm saving this file as well. So on Mac, it's Command S. On PC, it's Control S. And then you're pretty much done with the configuration of PlatformIO and the Sonoff-Tasmota build options. Now we're going to wire up the Sonoff Dual R2 to your FTDI and connect the FTDI to your computer. Okay, so now we're going to focus on the wiring from the FTDI to the Sonoff Dual R2. So on your FTDI, the first thing you want to do is make sure it's set to the 3.3 volt mode. So you're going to see 3 pins as seen in the diagram. There's going to be a jumper between 2 of the pins. So make sure that jumper is set to the 3.3 volt pin and the center pin. Make sure it's not set to the 5 volt pin and center pin, or else that'll actually damage your Sonoff. So now that we've set the FTDI to the 3.3 volt mode, we want to make sure the Sonoff Dual boots in flash mode. So what you want to do is actually now bridge the ground and button 0 pins. So you can see that through the yellow jumper as seen in the diagram. If you don't have a jumper, you can just use a female to female GPIO pin connector. And now you want to connect the FTDI in this sequence. First, connect the ground to the ground. Then you want to connect the RX on the FTDI to the TX on the Sonoff. And then the TX on the FTDI to the RX on the Sonoff. And finally, you want to connect the VCC from your FTDI to the VCC on your Sonoff Dual R2. Once you finish this wiring, you can connect your FTDI to your computer. And you should hear maybe a sound on your computer that indicates that it's been connected a USB device, and you should also start seeing the drivers to start install. If you don't see the drivers to start install, you will need to install the FTDI drivers manually. And once you're pretty much done with the drivers and all that, we're pretty much ready to continue on to finally flashing the firmware onto the Sonoff Dual R2. Okay, so now that we're back on the computer, we're actually going to start the upload process. So go to the PlatformIO menu and click List Serial Ports. That's going to take about a moment or two, and it should list all the serial ports on your computer. Select the one with the description that says FT232R or whatever else your serial device is. So you might see a variety of others, but you can ignore those. So the one that has the correct description, copy the text in blue. So on Windows it'll be like COM7 or something, and on Mac it'll be /dev// whatever it is. And then in the PlatformIO.ini file, you want to scroll down to where it says upload port equals COM5. Remove the COM5 and paste your serial port, and then save the file, and then you can click upload. And now what it's going to do is actually install a variety of packages that it needs to properly compile and then start the flashing process. This is all going to be automatic. So you can see now it's downloading and packing, and it's going to install a few packages. And after it's installed all the packages, you're going to start seeing compiling messages, which you'll just start to see in a moment here. There you can see now it's compiling. I've actually sped through this, but it'll take about 120 seconds to 240 seconds. And after it's done with that, you're going to start seeing the uploading. If you have no errors, that means the Sonoff has properly booted into the flash mode and it's uploading the firmware. So you can see it's saying uploading 548,960 bytes to flash at 0x000, and you're going to start seeing a progress bar 14% and stuff like that. And so you can see it's properly moving. This is going to take about another 1 to 2 minutes. And once it's done flashing, you're going to see this success message. That means the Sonoff has been properly flashed. So now what you actually want to do is disconnect the jumper between the button 0 and ground. That was the yellow in the wiring, the yellow jumper in the wiring diagram. Make sure you've disconnected that, and that'll allow the Sonoff to boot into regular mode on its next boot up. So now we actually want to reboot the Sonoff. So just unplug your the USB of the FTDI from your Mac or PC and reconnect it again. That'll cut off power and resupply power, causing a restart on the Sonoff. Now the Sonoff will actually boot and connect to your Wi-Fi network. What you want to do now is use some sort of Wi-Fi scanner, IP scanner, network scanner, or something like that to actually find your Sonoff's IP address on your network. If you don't have a network scanner, IP scanner, something that you've used before, I will link a few in the description below that'll allow you to accurately find the IP address of your Sonoff. And once you have the IP address of your Sonoff, we can go into the Sonoff webpage and finish its configuration. Now that we have the IP address of our Sonoff using a network scanner or IP scanner or such, we can enter the address into our browser and you'll be greeted with this web page where you're going to see the 2 toggle buttons to turn on and off the relay. So here you can see I turned them both on and then turned them both off. Click on the configuration button. Next, click on the configure logging button and set the serial log level to 0 none. Make sure web log level is 2 and the rest is none, and click save. And then go into configure MQTT. If you have an MQTT host, you can check if the IP is correct, but in the topic place, set that to Sonoff Dual. And you can check the rest of your parameters and click save. It might ask you to save a password. You can just click not now. And actually what's going to happen is the Sonoff is going to reboot. And so if you give it a few seconds, it should be fully restarted. So now that it's been a few seconds, if I click main menu, the page should load properly. You want to click configuration once again, go to configure other, and then in the friendly name one, set that first one to Sonoff Dual and the second one to Sonoff Dual 2, and then you can just click save. And you can click not now. And it should save both of them. And if you click main menu, it'll take a few seconds as the Sonoff had to restart. And now we're pretty much done. You can see that the module is pretty much fully configured and the Sonoff is running the Tasmota firmware properly. In my next video, I'm going to show you how to connect the Sonoff Dual R2 to HomeKit and as well as the Amazon Alexa service so you can actually activate the device using your Echo, Echo Dot, or any other Alexa enabled device. Guys, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments below and I'll sure to reach you as soon as possible. And if you have any other questions, you can also reach me on my Twitter and you can DM me as well. Thanks for watching.